Hey everybody, Mike and Casey here in the studio, and we are going to go through some editing today. Mike's been wanting to do this, and I said, Mike, editing video is going to be like watching paint dry. He said, what about shorts? I said, okay, we can do shorts, because at least that's a very quick thing to edit, and it'll give you guys a preview, kind of what we're working on, and what makes for a creative process with me and Mike. It basically is just us talking through and trying to remember and identify the best moments and then present it in a way that's going to look good for you guys. So we're going to go through some shorts. We have a few that Mike has brought me that I don't think we've seen yet. But of course, true to form, I've done almost zero preparation for this broadcast, so we don't even know if we've seen these clips yet or not. We're going to check them out, and I'm going to let you guys see them. So we're going to go through what we're actually looking at, and let's see. Let's start with this first one, Mike. I am going to play. You guys are also going to get sound. It may be a little loud initially, but we'll see how this goes. Hold on. Alright, looks like it's pretty loud for you guys. Sorry about that. We turned it down a little bit. Okay, Mike, this one, like rewinding, this is the southern, so I'm going to change the view here for you guys. Let's see if we're any better now. Sorry guys, we are, for some reason, when you connect the source to YouTube, it killed our microphone. So Mike, if you don't mind, just check our stream and see if we have audio now, if you don't mind.
Give
If
it
you can just
audio.
listen to it in your phone, otherwise we'll have an echo. Put it. Alright, sounds like we do have audio, so that's good. Sorry about that, guys. I realize that was a little bit painful, but we've got it solved now. Okay, so back to what we were doing before I realized that the microphone was inadvertently muted by hooking OBS, which is what we're using to stream here, up to YouTube. It decided to kill our Yeti microphone here for some reason. So anyway, this is, as he said, the Stinky Train. This is a bunch of MSC cars. Oh, Ray says we do have audio. Well, thank you, Ray. I just saw the chat messages over there. Hey, Tony. Hey, Stuart. Hey, Tara. Okay, so anyway, this is the one that you obviously can tell by the date. Mike filmed that on December 30th, so you can tell how current I am on making the shorts. And honestly, we don't necessarily do them in the order in which they were received. We like to go through and see what our highlights are. Occasionally there's something you just can't wait, or sometimes there's one that Mike did that I know we actually do have here. Let me open this one for you. This one we did put on the channel. I recognize it. I think I still left it in source folder. Mike was on vacation and he saw this.
From the hotel room.
Yep, and what do you call these things, Mike?
MOW train.
An MOW train, that's right.
And he's laying rail along the track.
Yeah, and it was really cool. And so we already did the short of this when it already came out. So they're not always in order. Like this one has been done. But we're going to work with the one of the Southern because we haven't yet done the Southern, and that's neat. Let's see what else we have real quick before
We
we
have
just
the
settle on
hailstorm.
one. Oh, we do have the hailstorm. When was that? Do you recall?
Not too long ago. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's in that group that you downloaded the other day.
Is it? Okay. I'll find that one. Oh, this is cool. That's the Norfolk and Western.
Ah, Tara just saw that up in Virginia.
Oh, right on. So there's that one. Let's see what this one was. This is a night. I bet you this is the Chessie. Nope, that looks like the Norfolk and Western as well, right?
Nope, that's the tag.
Oh, it is. That was a tag when it was freshy fresh. That's December.
That was your
My
your
own
trip.
live,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was your trip to, or that's what you saw at the preview.
We did, yeah. All right. Tara says, yes, she did just see that. Okay, this one's probably going to be a DPU because it starts in the middle. Yep, there it is. It's actually the end. Mike, somehow you knew that was going to be the end. That's the Norfolk Southern, right? Isn't that what that is?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
the original.
Yep. The OG paint scheme. This one's at night. I think this is the Conrail. So I remember you and Jesse caught one at night. And he's going slow. It's too slow for Conrail.
Oh, that's our flashlight wave.
Yep, that is. That's a friend of the channel who shall remain nameless, but we always get a flashlight wave from him, so that's cool. Always nice to get a little salute.
Back on the AGS.
Let's see what this is. We're going to fast forward a little bit. Okay. This is part of what we cut out in the editing process, so that you see, oh, the Norfolk and Western, but that's a great
With-
shot of it.
And that's on an NS line with a CSX locomotive.
Okay, that's cool. All right, let's do that one. That sounds fun. Okay, so we are going to copy that over. So we're running a bunch of hard drives. You can see it just appeared here in the frame. And so I'm going to import this to the project. And we're going to bring it over. And now you can see it appears here. So we are going to scale this. And what we're attempting to do here is to make this fit the frame size. So sometimes the scaling is actually applied from a previous video that we shot. But we're going to fit that to the frame. And so now when you see it on the phone, it'll be the correct side. And we have, you see I have the words from the previous video. So what is the number for that locomotive, Mike?
8103, I do believe. Tara, 8103?
Let's see if I can get it before her. So I can see her talking right down here. We are looking at 4 screens right now. There it is. 8103. All right.
Hey, Mike got one right.
So 8103. See if I can. Here's the text. See if I can edit the text now. 8103. Not 8108. 8103 leads CSX. And this is going to be Wahatchee. But it's on the NS line, right?
Correct. It's on the AGS, which is the NS line.
So, that text, and I previously configured this, so you guys won't have to see it move painfully slow, but we're going to see a little preview in the middle of the monitor here. And as I make this slightly easier for you to see, we're going to preview it. You can see it says 8103 leads CSX, Wahatchee on the AGS. Okay, so here's the problem. As you can see, we are running, but there is no train yet. So that being boring, we're going to skip forward. And you can usually tell by the sound. So you can see on the bottom, there's the audio. And when they get close, the horn shows up. Oh, there it is. We're going to catch it right before it comes into frame. We're going to edit that, and we are going to shift delete, which does what's called a ripple delete. Nope, we are not. Let's try and, it has been too long since I've done it. I missed my shortcut. Doesn't want to ripple delete. I don't know why, but it's supposed to shift back the audio or the video to where I deleted from, but it doesn't want to, I guess, because the track above it had video. So V1 and V2 both had it. Tony says 2625, the LNN nose came through Cowan today. That's cool. So here it is coming in. And since there's not a whole lot happening behind it, that's probably going to work. So we're just going to cut that. And believe it or not, that quickly. You say, Casey, if it's that easy, why does it take you guys so long? So if it's that easy, why does it take us so long to get it out there? Partially because I'm always traveling. And partially because it actually took a while to get this system down. We change graphics templates and things a lot, but it's not an excuse. It's actually on me. Mike sends good footage all the time. But we do probably want to do a little bit of color correction on this one. And there are no flesh tones in here that would lean towards, there's a line right here. This line on this map is actually the color of human skin. No matter what race you are, we have an oranginess to us, and lining up flesh tones on this line will actually make the video look more natural, and it moves everything else with it. But as we're looking at this, we're going to see in our allometry, we're going to see that there's a lot more blue, as you can tell, and in the green and in the red. So very little red here, but nothing is moving really off the map. So here's a look at the timeline, and you would see spikes if the colors are getting maxed out. It's not going to be visible. So it's actually not too bad. I think this video is pretty good here. Hey, Mama Bear. And hello to Kid. Okay, so long story short, it looks pretty good. I think we don't need any effects or anything on it. We're not going to do any fade, because sometimes on YouTube when you make a short, that fade actually makes it where the preview image is blank, and that can sometimes be an issue even here. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to put up an initial image of just that with the nose by taking a screenshot, and we're going to call this 8103 nose. We're going to import that into the project automatically, and we're going to put this as another video bed at the beginning for a brief second, so that when we set up this video on YouTube, it will have the correct image. The problem is, I just did it, but when I took the screenshot, I also had the words over it. So, I don't like that. Let's try that again. So we're going to find this shot again right here, and we are going to hide the graphic. Take another screenshot, 8103 nose 2, and there's this one. Bring it in, and we're going to make it just the very beginning of the video. Now, turn the graphics back in. And I'm sorry, that train horn is probably really loud for you guys. With the way that we're streaming, we don't hear the audio at all. I have yet to hear that train horn. So, sorry if it's blowing you guys away, but we're going to go through. I'm actually going to export this real quick. I'm going to turn this off because it's going to open other windows, and you won't actually see what's happening. It's going to look like it's a frozen screen. But we'll let Mike give a little bit of a preview about what we have coming up, because I didn't give him any preparation. But I know there's an exciting new Heritage coming out, number 22, NS Heritage. Mike, you want to talk about that for a second?
Going to be all silver, I know that.
And the trucks and the tanks are silver, which is very cool.
A lot of silver.
It's going to get really dirty really quick, but it's really neat looking right now.
And don't know a whole lot about that rail line, but if you guys do.
Yeah, I'll find it for you guys real quick. I'm going to open my text messages. I'm not even sure where my phone is right now, honestly. But as long as the internet can see it, my phone will, of course, it's lost pairing. I was going to load this text message for you guys, but I guess I won't. So anyway, Alright, so we are going to do 8103 leads on CSX. Ray, if you're out there watching and you know where my phone is, don't be shy about bringing it over. I'd like to be able to show them that image. Three dots next to the desktop audio. Okay, got it. Advanced properties. And then monitoring. Monitor and output. There we go. Thank you, Raymond. Theoretically, this means I will be able to hear what we're actually doing. Let's test that, see if I can hear it. Nope. It was a good thought. I can't actually hear it, so that's okay. No harm, no harm. I do appreciate the effort, Ray. Yeah, exactly. Mike probably did. What actually happened is, in a mad panic to shove things around inside the studio and make it look vaguely presentable, you can tell there's a random table right behind us and a trash can. But in the process of trying to make it look presentable, my phone went somewhere.
We couldn't go far because you had it in here.
You're right, I was trying to use it as a camera.
And you had it attached to that cord.
I did have it attached to that cord. And it did not want to cooperate, so I moved it. See, this is what great YouTube is, guys. This is, oh well, we'll find it eventually. Okay, so I have saved the project. We're going to export this thing, and I'll show you guys the process for that. I'm going to open up the Adobe product we use for that. And we have the Creative Cloud suite, so we use a thing called Media Encoder. Yeah, I know. This is Mike in his own world. Mike enjoys watching the editing, but he spends a lot of time thinking about where he would rather be. This video is only 16 seconds long.
That's all I did?
No, that's how long it is from the time the train hits until the Great Graffiti goes past, and then the like and subscribe gets out. The important stuff of YouTube. So, you can probably hear the fans running on my computer. It is, it's doing a lot of work here. We're going to, the last one that was on here was the Santa train in this program, because we didn't use this program for the next ones. And actually, with this being just a short, we could just render this as it sits. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to export it. When it's a 2-hour long 4K video, like when we did, what was that, the Southern? That thing required a lot of horsepower.
Ain't right, doesn't I miss that picture?
Very nice, Billy. I like a picture. Hey, Andy. So for those of you who are just joining, I have no idea who this guy is with the magnificent gray and brown and blonde and red and whatever beard. I'm Casey. I'm Mike's partner on Realm Moments. You never see me because, number one, I travel a lot. You did see me a lot more in the early days of the channel when my travel was less. But I'm also almost always in the studio when I'm working with the channel. And tonight I am supporting Robbie Layton, another YouTuber who does off-road content and automotive paint and whatnot. It's signed by their whole team. Got to meet them a couple months ago out in Utah. You know, you guys who watch and have seen me before know that I never wear the same hat twice. Okay, we are going to test this and make sure it plays.
because I shot it.
That's exactly why. All right, Ain't Rod Stewart loves Robbie Layton. Well, I got to see his giant tracked vehicle, and I could probably show you that real quick when I was out there. This will be a nice quick aside. Let's do. He had the I can't remember what he calls it, but his tracked limo was out there, and it was really cool. I will open this
Mama
picture
Bear,
for you.
love those sunsets.
It was very, very pretty out there, and I would just scroll through all of these pictures, but some of it would bore you. Here it is. I found it. So this here is Robbie Layton's limo. The Hell Tracks, I guess is what he's calling it. And Matt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery is Mormon, as you know, and he prefers not to say anything on the channel for his own reasons and because he's a big YouTuber. So he calls it the Heck Tracks. So, oh yeah, that's right. The Lamo. It is the Lamo. Laymo, because it's Robbie Layton, so it's the Lamo. He did drive it around. The tracks came off, sadly, and I have another photo of it later getting towed back, or actually I think a video, and that was a sad moment. It got towed right in front of me. I was just sitting there on my phone waiting for the traffic to clear, and I see this tow truck go by towing the Lamo with the track hanging off. Like, huh. So it was a fun time. So yeah, wearing Robbie Layton on my head here today. Okay, so this one is actually done, and I'm going to go ahead and post this. So we use a part of Studio or of YouTube that you guys never get to see. It's called Studio. And I might as well show you. It's no big secret exactly what's happening over here. There's nothing that can't be seen by y'all. And this is something YouTubers never do, which is to show you the actual process of making the video. So we're going to drag this over there. And we're going to do NS8103 leads on CS6. Tracks at Apache.
It's in this tricks.
I'm sorry, it is in this tracks. That's the
He's with a CSX.
leads a CS6. See, this is why Mike is here to look over my shoulder.
Because you all know I'm not in the 21st century yet with this.
And so we're going to add a hashtag, and it wants us to also do hashtag CSX, it says. And Mike got a rare NS Heritage leading a CSX locomotive on NS tracks while bypassing a CSX yard. Okay, and then we're going to put this in our shorts playlist. So we just select the playlist. We're going to show that it is not AI generated, and it's just that simple. So we're going to go through the process, and we're going to say that no, there is no inappropriate language or any controversial issues or any of that. We're going to submit our rating. And we're not going to add any related videos because it's a short and that's just annoying. Alright, so now it's going through suitability for ads. So YouTube makes their money off of running ads, and if you don't make it suitable for them to run ads, they get very upset with you. And so we are going to leave this running, and I'm going to move it over to the other side because it's going to take, it says 19 minutes to watch 18 seconds of video and make sure that it's suitable. Couldn't tell you why. Okay, so we're going to make another one real quick. Mike, what do you think is our next?
The Hail.
The Hail.
With H-A-I-L.
It is H-A-I-L. I've got to remember where I put that.
That's that whole group you just downloaded.
I know, but I put them in by date. I'm pretty sure.
You need a date?
Maybe. This is the other fascinating part where you watch Mike and Casey try to remember where we put the videos.
Actually, it's where Casey put the videos.
I wonder if it's in the folder called 2025 Shorts, because that would be way too obvious. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of them.
Yep, I was busy.
What? Yeah, a date would help me significantly. This is 2020.
Oh, I don't have all the cameras
There's
on.
February. Oh, that's, I think this one. This one. They were just talking about Oh no, this is a different one. Is that the RFMP nose? What is that? Yeah, it is.
RFMP knows.
It is RFMP nose.
We just filmed that in Decatur this past Saturday.
You're
Or
welcome.
Friday.
Kid Outdoors noticed that I had him and Mama Bear and Gavin as the thumbnail. I was wondering if you guys would see that one day. So I'm glad you caught that. I had a little fun doing that. There's an Easter egg from time to time. Sorry, Mike, I just talked right over you. And hey, AGS. Tony, I actually got to drive it today. I assure you, Mike is not getting anywhere near the key. I actually took it out of my pocket before he got here. Oh, that's cool. The guy gets out of the nose of the RFMP nose. Maybe he was on it the whole time. Where does he come from?
They're over there switching.
Where does he come from? Where does he go? Yep, he's right. There he is right there switching.
They're switching at the airport.
Good. I'm glad Gavin enjoyed that. Yeah, there he is. He hops on. Huh. All right. Well, that's kind of neat.
And not too long after that, a Heritage locomotive comes. I forget which one.
Well, I'm going to retitle this RF and P nose with crew. That way I can find it. And you guys aren't seeing me type anything because I'm not typing anything. Matter of fact, I'll put it back on us so y'all can stare at Mike in higher definition while I try and figure out where we put the rest of his videos. So this is when you came over the house like 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Or no? Okay, so we
Next
we
Sunday.
actually went to the studio and we downloaded them directly.
You
It
pull them
wasn't-
off the phone straight to this thing.
That's right. Okay, because Shorts Mike films on a phone. We have various stuff we use. 360 drone. But he has 3 phones that he travels with, and he shoots Shorts with them. You can see that Mike has them laid out on his lap right here.
One of them was dead.
One of them's always dead with Mike. I have a power cord.
No,
Plugged
I
into
got
one of the
something better.
lights.
I got that new thing I bought.
Mike has a new thing. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna scoot up for Mike while he goes to find that. We have some January shorts here.
Yeah, you got January, February, March. May even have December. I'll get you dates here.
Okay. And that's this folder. That's good. I wonder if we put them in Real Moments. This probably would have been better if we'd made a little bit more preparation. By we, I mean me. But I actually thought I had them all in that folder. And Mike, I think I just found
I think
there's some more. There's a whole bunch of drone footage.
Yeah, I didn't need your cord.
You need the power.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
one was dead.
I'll grab it for you momentarily. Oh, we have bloopers. We have new bloopers coming up. You guys want to see that real quick? I know a lot of people like the old bloopers video. We have some new bloopers. And let's see if we can plug this one in for you. There we go. So we have some of that. 1869 never came through Cowan yesterday. That's a shame. ATN is painting their ST60M X Conrail unit. That's cool. All right. Here are some of the bloopers that we have saved. I always enjoy these. So here is Mike and me on our very first day ever. We are in Stevenson? Is that the name of that town?
Yes, Stevenson. That's where I ran over the curb with you.
Yeah, he did. Mike's an exuberant driver. He ran over the curb with me. And I just thought it was funny that we're trying to figure it out. And so naturally we're just like staring at the
And
camera.
it's raining that day.
Oh, you had an echo? I'm sorry. Yeah, let me fix that. Desktop audio. Yeah, so guess what? The microphone just decided to reanimate. It had been off and I lost the control for the Yeti and it just reappeared.
It's alive.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
stopped
y'all
trying.
wonder why I don't like technology.
I know why he doesn't like it. I barely tolerate it. Tony, let me know if that killed the echo. I turned off the auxiliary since the Yeti controls showed back up just randomly. And then this one, I enjoy. You guys may remember this. I have a screenshot of it. And here is a nameless subscriber who changed his username to this.
Oh, we have to play that.
And I am desperately trying to type to Matthew to tell him, good, thanks, Tony, to tell him not to do this, that Mike's not going to fall for this. But Mike did fall for this. And so, in the course of this live, it's 2 minute and 33-second mark, and I'm going to let you guys listen to this for a minute. I can't stop it exactly, so I'm going to let you guys hear this while I grab my phone so we can show you a picture of the new Heritage. So here's the audio.
There's a brand new white Corvette. And they're talking about XL 808, the local switchers just to the south of us, talking about coming uptown where we are. So, they're to the south of us, working about 2-3 miles, and they're getting ready to talk to dispatch, see if they can come up on the main, and they're going to come up. And apparently there's about 27 of these cars they need to do something with. So here comes their conversation. Meantime, let me get caught up with all of y'all's conversation. Hawk Tung spit on that thing. How's that? I can do it quicker if you like. Hawk Tung spit on that thing. Or HTS OTT. Glad you're on tonight.
We enjoyed that moment. Mike getting completely taken by a couple of young kids. He says that made my day, Mike.
I'm glad I could entertain you.
Thanks, Mama Bear. We're glad that you're watching. This last one is another little silly one. And you guys, if you see any bloopers that Mike does, please tell me. Because they're great. And sometimes I don't catch everything that happens on the live.
Now it says start recording. So it started right away. So I got to stop it.
So, that's all there is to it. But it's Mike on the phone with me trying to figure out how the 360 camera works.
Now it says start recording. So it started right away. So I got to stop it.
He's obviously at Dalton. That's a very short nugget, but I love it. It makes me immensely happy every time. I know Mike takes it in good humor. We are not actually making fun of Mike. It's the hilarious moments that happen when you're trying to do live rail fanning all the time. And you know, we do a combination of everything. We do some production, we do some shorts, we do a whole lot of different stuff. But I enjoyed that. I love Mike trying to figure out a 360.
Man, Casey, what's wrong with this thing? Help me.
And sometimes I say, it's probably you, Mike.
Most of the time it is.
I'm not quite that mean most of the time. There are moments when I'm like, I can't understand it for you. I don't know. I'm not sure what you've done. So, okay, Mike, we have a section here I have an entire folder in my computer called Mike's Phone Dump. And that is where I just dumped all of the videos from your phone.
Is
And
that
that's
March
probably-
15th in there?
Probably where they are. So we figured out it was March 15th.
March 15th is Hail Day.
HAIL Hail Day. And if you ever wondered, do we have all of our footage? Yeah, we have all of our footage since we started filming. We have every single day that we've shot stored on the hard drives. So one day when we go back and do things, there's some videos we want to make that are a little bit more ambitious. Like we have one in mind where we are doing every heritage that we've ever seen. We wanted to do some of our favorite railfan locations. We actually just did that one, but we have some more. So when we go through these, having all of our stuff there by date is the simplest way we can find it, because Mike keeps track of where we've been on actual like sheets of paper or sends an email. And so we know by date, we were here and we saw this unit. So my goal one day is to take all that and turn it into an Excel spreadsheet so I can just search it. But that's how it's organized right now. And it works really, really well when we're looking for things that have been imported by date. So that's fun. Yeah. Mike did fall for that. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys. I did find my phone, by the way, while Mike was getting punked by the kids. And I'm going to pull this picture up for you of the new heritage. Jesse sent it over to us today. Or yesterday, maybe?
Yesterday.
And so it's on the Railfans group text. It's really pretty. Alright, we're going to move it over. That's it, the Delaware and Hudson. So Jesse sent it to us. Look at that, with the silver or gray, depending on your perspective, of the trucks and the tanks. And then I love right here it says radio. Just a really unique piece. I think I've got one more shot of it. Yeah, here's the other one. A little bit grainier. It gives you an idea of the other side. Really, really cool unit. We were excited to have the opportunity to chase it down. It hasn't left the yard apparently in a month, of course. So everybody's waiting for it to come out, including us. But I promise you, the moment that there is any hint that we're going to be able to find this for you, we're going to do it. Okay, back to what we're doing. So we did edit the short, and I'm bringing it back over. Show you what we have. We have no issues found, so that's good. So we are able to continue, and we are going to make it public. And because you guys are doing it, you're watching it, I am going to make this live right now. So we're going to publish this. And there it is. And there's the link. And if you guys want to watch it, I just dropped it in the chat. And it's now live on the internet.
Y'all made it with us.
So that's how it works, making a short. It's a little bit more involved than some people think, not just because of the editing software. A lot of people think we just edit it on our phone or something, and you can't really do that and get YouTube's quality. It's great for like social media videos, but since we're doing it for YouTube, a lot of our subscribers are actually watching this on a TV. And so the shorts not so much, but we edit everything in Premiere in this software. And so sometimes we're actually editing both. So we're going to take our landscape filmed 4K video and we're going to crop it in to the 1080 by 1920 that we use for the shorts. And that's part of the process, is trying to get one piece of footage for you guys and put it out in multiple formats where people who watch it in shorts or watch it on TV, all the different ways that they see us, are able to see it and enjoy it. Okay, let's see here. We have
March 15th.
March 15th is the date. Mike has the date. It's going to take a second because these hard drives are huge. There's a stack of hard drives behind this fourth monitor here, and I think they're 30 something terabytes of video storage. And when we decide to wake up one of the other hard drives, there we go. It has to think about it for a moment. There's a lot of storage in Realm Moments. Okay. Mike, I think the next one we should do before Hail, since I am having a very hard time finding that one. I've got March, no, that's the wrong one. It's March 21st. It's a different one. You said March 5th?
15th.
15th. That was
It's
so close.
Saturday, and there's 5 that day.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to actually search for the file name. So I'm going to search my entire computer for that.
And it's the Lackawanna and the Pennsylvania together.
Okay, we are going to search. And it's not seeing it there. So we're going to try the entire computer.
Does it help if I tell you how long it is?
Nope,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Came from the Black Phone, I believe.
Alright. I don't think I have it sorted that way. I'm pretty sure that I don't. We have the other one I was thinking we could do tonight is the Southern, partially because that's my favorite, and I'm selfish. If it sounds like my computer's about to take off, the cooling fans are working. It's working hard. Let's see. Tony, is the sound still working well for you? What are you hearing out there? Hopefully it's a bit better than it was. I tried killing the echo on the fly. So I'll give you guys a rundown of what I'm looking at. Right up by you, you're on the top monitor that's running OBS, which is our streaming software right now. Over here, we got YouTube and its connection that's required to connect to OBS to be able to run the stream. And then all of our file storage is where I keep looking over here. And then down here is the one that I show you when I'm doing the desktop. You sure did. That's because the Yeti keeps crashing over and over. I don't know why. It wants to be a good microphone. But It is not cooperating, and there's no reason. It literally is just disappearing and reappearing. No rhyme or reason. In just a moment, it'll come back, and Tony will hear an echo again. So, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, guys. Sorry it's jumping back and forth on you, but we'll do our best to keep up. And I appreciate y'all letting me know. I'll promise not to say anything important when the sound's off. That's the best I can do for you. All right. Thank you, Stuart. Yeah, I had to switch over. That silly Yeti, man. Okay. Back to what we were doing. So here's the Southern. And that's the Stinky Train. Oh, Traxxas. If you look really carefully, Mike leans slightly this way. That and the floor, if you look very carefully in the floor behind Mike's left elbow, that is an X-Max with its body off, sitting on a stand in front of my records. Why do I have it in the studio? Because I was working on it in the studio on the project table, and I broke one of the hubs, and so it has lived there for a while. But eventually, I will take it back and play with it in my yard at home. But at the moment, it lives here.
And it has a lift.
It does have a lift because Mike bought it for me for Christmas.
What's it called? A lift?
Yeah, it's a stand. Yeah, sure. It's a stand. All right, so we're going to go back to editing here. Thanks, Tony. Oh, Stuart has an X-Max too. I've also got a T-Rex 4, and I've got some old things. So we are going to save another one here. So this is going to be Southern. Mike, the Southern was at Wauhatchie, right?
Yes, I think that's the same exact spot.
Wauhatchie. See if I can do that. Wauhatchie.
It would be A-U-H-A-T-C-H-I-E.
Thank you. Very helpful. Okay. We are going to bring in that video, which is this one. Yeah, it's that one. You can see a little preview if you just mouse back and forth, which is really cool. And you can see very, very tiny. There is the Southern. So we're going to import that. And we're going to drag that guy over. And we're going to scale it to fit so that it works. Scale to frame size. There we go. And it starts at just the right moment. That is not editing. Mike actually started the camera with the nose just visible. So I don't think we'll even need to make a thumbnail for that one. Because if anybody sees that as a preview image and you know anything about trains, you know exactly what that one is. So it's going to be starting in. And this is the 8099. So we're going to change this text here. 8099 leads, right?
Ain't right. Hit 48 miles an hour with his car at the show at the Collin Railroad.
Oh, no kidding. I've got the little Traxxas Link system. I don't think I've ever hit 48. I think I've hit 44 or 45, but I wasn't in a place where I had enough room to run. And the batteries I have are pretty good, and I've got a balanced charger and all that, but I didn't have quite enough real estate, I think. And the tires start to do this thing, elongate when you're going really fast, and it gets a little unstable because I'm running the stock tires. I don't think I've had mine at 48. I think it's gone 44 maybe.
Andy speed checked him with the gun.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Well, they actually have a little GPS-driven thing you can put on it, and then Traxxas Link will give you an idea, but it's not extremely precise. There are various ways to do it. Yeah, that's true. I do travel, unfortunately, pretty much every week for work, which was not the case when Mike and I started this channel, which is part of why you see so many lives, partly because Mike loves doing it, and also because Mike can bring you the action at that moment. It allows people to participate with rail fanning. They'll get to see what's happening. They can go and see it themselves if they want to. Some people use it like a mobile rail cam. Like, we have our rail cam at the studio that's actually the software for it is behind my shoulder over here. The cam itself is a few hundred feet away. But we run that rail cam. It's a static rail cam, but then we also use Mike's production unit 6 kind of as a satellite truck, like a mobile rail cam. And so that's a thing that we've kind of leaned into over time. We're doing more and more of that. But the good news is I can help Mike with it remotely. So if he needs support or something, all that stuff runs through the internet, so I can do it wherever I am. And it doesn't require long upload times of huge 4K videos, which is the problem of doing production. Because to make a really good production for you guys, these videos are huge. The files that we are using, one video can be, we can run probably 80 to 100 gigs of data just on one long video. Like the one we did with the studio breakdown of the Southern. That one's in the triple digits in gigs. They are massive, massive files. So when you're talking about all the stuff you have to transfer and the amount of time it would take to do that remotely, it's a lot. So when I come here, I work in the studio. Right now I'm working on Mike's 911 train, the 911 train, I guess actually.
Mm-hmm. The training train.
Yeah, it has the dashes, so it's 911 train. And that's the training train. I can give you a little preview of the video from that. But Mike got to walk through it. We got to do a whole bunch of cool stuff. He took the 360, got to take his cell phones on board. He set up a camera on the outside, and we got a whole bunch of different footage. So I've been working on that. There's multiple cameras, multiple audio sources, and it's like 3.5 hours of footage.
Yeah, we were there a while.
So it's a lot of footage to go through too. So there's just a lot happening. So this is also Wahashi on the AGS. So I actually don't need to change the subtitle. It's just the 8099 leads, and I love the Southern. I just want to subscribe.
It's on the stinky train again.
So this one, there's no real editing to do. We're just going to play it, and I'm going to hush for a second so I can make sure the audio doesn't clip. Alright, so it didn't. That actually worked really well. I want to draw your attention to something. As you're watching it, watch the color. So I left this up, not on purpose, but it's neat to watch. As you watch this video go by, I'm going to mute it so you can hear me. As we go through watching the video here, you'll actually be able to see the break in the train cars as it's going along in the color right here. So it's following what it's seeing on the screen, but you can actually see where it breaks into the blue, additional blue as the cars go by. So this is the translation in color data of what you're seeing on the screen, and so that's kind of how you can help edit. As you can see, it's slightly overexposed right here, so where that white is slightly blown out, but it's not so bad because you can see most of the colors right here in the thick of it. And I think if I try to get too creative with editing this video, it would make this look artificial, like the trucks that are in shadow would probably look too artificial. So we're just going to let that be slightly blown out. You can see where it's clipping right at 100 right there. But that's really the only spot where it is. And as we fast forward through, most of it stays pretty good. There's just a few little spots that are kind of over. And that's actually the white text that you're seeing right here that's appearing up there. So everything looks pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with the color on that one. Mike did a really good job on filming that. So this is unedited. This is just Mike's production.
Without the smell.
Without the smell.
There you got that message.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I've got a...
That's from Kid. That's from Ain't Right.
That's really nice. I like that. I'm looking at a picture here of a turntable, and it's a belt drive. I've got a belt drive right next to me. That is a Project Carbon I have sitting here in the studio. And so sometimes, if I'm doing something really mind-numbing, like I'm editing tons of thumbnails, which is just painful. Oh, we have the record player there, and I have giant speakers on either side of me. You guys can't see this at the moment, but the speakers are, yeah, they're that tall. They're 3-4 feet tall. So we have these giant studio speakers, and there's a center channel right behind me. There's a center channel between these two monitors I'm looking at, and the center channel is this big. So it's huge, it's loud, but if I can turn it down and just put on a record and listen to something peaceful, I've got Steep Canyon Rangers, I think is what's on it right now. But I can just put on a record and enjoy it. But yeah, my wife bought me that Project Carbon, and it's really fun. So I enjoy doing it. I used to work for a radio TV station, did video editing back, computer editing starting in 2001, which is in the very, very beginning of when people were editing video on a computer. So I guess 24 years I've been doing what they call nonlinear editing. I've been editing video on a computer. Can't believe it's been that long. Makes me feel a little bit old, but it is what it is. Okay, so as I said, I don't think we'll need to make any adjustment to the beginning, because you can see if I go frame by frame, there's only about 5 frames before it's really quite visible as the 8099. So I like it. I think we're going to roll with it like that. That's the Southern Nutwahatchee. We're going to save it. And we're going to export this guy. We're just going to export the media. And it's already going in there. We're going to call this one the Southern short at. Nah, I shouldn't put the at because that could cause a file naming issue. And there's the correct settings. Everything looks good. Glad Mike's monitoring the chat. I forgot he had a phone up over there.
Yeah, we have on the channel named it officially Stinky Pete for the trash train.
Can't argue with that. Video was exported successfully. Alright, good deal. So, that one's done. So, let's switch over.
So we got
And
2 up?
We do.
Yay!
Well, first, let's just make sure it works. Cool. It worked.
And in my old age, I know one of you called me and gave me the heads up it was coming. I just don't remember who that day, because I literally, it happened.
Is it, Tony, is it Southern Railways or Southern Railway?
Railway.
Is it Railway?
Yeah.
Southern Railway. I know you've got that plaque on your wall. You would know. All right. It's actually Leeds. Hatchie, and then Rail Fans. And NS. Is that going to work? Let's try Norfolk Southern. That'll work. Cool. Mike caught Casey's favorite heritage unit being at Waxahachie, right into the settings. Alright, we're going to drop it on a playlist, and the playlist is shorts. And we are not going to have any AI content. We do not have any inappropriate language. I don't add any related videos because you guys will find them if you want to find them. Everything looks good. We're going to make it public, but we're just going to schedule it. So, Mike, when are you planning on being live again?
Saturday morning,
Perfect.
around 8:30.
Alright, so let's make sure we're in the right time zone. Yep, that's local time. So we're going to make this automatically come out tomorrow at, let's say, 6 p.m. So that one is going to launch tomorrow. And that's the link, but if I sent it to you, you wouldn't be able to see it. So sorry guys, because it wouldn't actually be live yet. So there we are. We created 2, Mike. We also have, what was this one again? December 23rd. It was cold.
It could be the tag.
Oh no, that's the.
Oh, that's our flashlight salute
Yeah, that
on
was
the
fine.
train team.
That's fine. We could do that real
I
quick.
didn't know such a thing existed.
We can do that real quick.
How many of you guys have gotten nighttime flashlight salutes? Boy, that's hard to say. Nighttime flashlight salutes.
So Mike is cheating slightly. Mike's friend is he a conductor?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a conductor, and he tells Mike, he will text Mike and say when he's coming through. And so Mike makes sure he's on the correct side of the train to be able to see the conductor's seat, which is the left side, and he'll set up. And Mike generally knows, not all the time.
But tell him about the first time.
The first time,
Mike got all excited.
Mike thought
called
he had seen like
Star Wars in the cabin.
he thought that he had seen like the train go into emergency, so he calls me in this panic. And
Casey.
yeah, he's losing his mind, right? Like Mike does. You guys have seen Mike get really animated. So Mike is he's become two separate Mikes, both blathering at the same time at each other. And he is calling me. He's like, I just saw a train go into emergency, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? So then finally he rewinds. He's like, wait, no, that light's flashing. What is that light flashing? And he's trying to figure out what's happening. And then his friend calls him. He's like, hey, did you see my salute? And so Mike figured out.
Yeah, he found next time we met.
Yeah.
He found our channel later and sent us a note that what he was doing, and then also the bungalow light. When he was talking about it, he was reporting a bungalow light out too, and I thought it was the train light. I got that all backwards. So
Yeah, Mike was positively befuddled.
Yeah, I was so discombobulated I couldn't figure out which part of the word I was at. Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. For some reason, this video is not wanting to left justify, and I'm not sure why not. You can see it's left a gap there. I don't know why it's being cantankerous, but it is, so we're just going to nudge that over. Okay. Alright, so there's this one coming by at night. I think that's enough visibility. There's the train salute. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to do something a little bit fancy. I'm going to slow this down.
A slow-mo salute.
I am. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to drag this over a bit. And by a bit, I mean like a lot. And I'm going to... ripple edit. So I'm going to transition between these. I'm going to go into effects and go fade. No, I'm going to dip to white. So when you do dip to white, it tells people that there's kind of a change in time. You may not notice that, but it kind of makes you realize it's a flashback. So they use that a lot in TV. So we're going to dip to white on these transitions here. So now what you're going to end up seeing is it comes by, then it goes back by again in slow-mo, and then we can just end it actually. So we don't need the end transition. And we can probably cut this one right after it goes by. So like right here. So let's try this. We're going to see if this looks right. It goes by, flashes, and then a dip to white. So let's find out. Nope, sorry. I just noticed. The Yeti came alive again. So sorry about the echo. It's going to crash again. I don't know why the Yeti hates me today, but it does. It may be because there are 3 microphone inputs running. The external webcam we have, the internal one, then there's the Yeti, and it can't figure out what it wants to do. I don't know why, but OBS is picked today during a stream to become like this. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Oh, sorry. I just realized I'm not showing you. Sorry, the Yeti crashed again. So we're going to take the audio down about 6 decibels. You can see it was actually clipping right there. And now it's not. So that's what we're going to do over here too. We're going to do the audio as minus 6 decibels on that clip. Okay, now we've got to change the words because that's not the 8099. So what we're going to do is conductor salute. Oop, not salute, not saltui. I majored in English. I can do this. Hey, Lucas. All right, conductor salute, saying hi to Mike. That's what it's going to say. So let's test this one now and see if we are.
At night.
Yeah, I think they gathered it's at night.
Okay.
Let's see how this looks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that way you can actually see the pattern. So we're going to get half speed. I think half speed might be a little too slow. I think people are going to get a little bit bored watching the same thing again the second time. So we are going to put it to 75%. That's a little too short because now it's before the end of our video. So let's try this. Let's try. Why is it doing that? Oh, because I did it the wrong way. I need to do it at 60. That's what it is. And we're going to make that one fit. Cool. You know, the problem is I'm going to make that video again, and I am not going to want to have that edited. So I'm just going to cut it shorter. Because he's out of the frame anyway, so that works. Alright, Mike, we are going to export this guy.
Already?
Yep.
That was quick.
Where is this? This is Bootleggers?
Next Bootleggers. Next up on the road. Next on the overlook at Bootleggers. A legendary time-held folklore event where the souls live behind you on the other side of the road.
Alright.
Kid, that's just around the corner where you're going to camp out in the spooky water tower.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Alright, we're exporting this guy right now. And it says it's finished. Let's take a look. Hey, Eugene.
How's Kentucky tonight?
I don't know if you could hear that over the train horn, but he said, "How's Kentucky tonight?" So that one's done. That worked. So we can schedule that one. Mike, what's your next day to go live? After Saturday, or you're live Sunday, right?
Sunday, yes, don't know where yet. We have horrific stormy weather starting tomorrow for 8 days, and Saturday's supposed to be the worst. And next steam day to Somerville.
I do love Somerville excursions. All right, that'll work. Right, yes. Flash. We don't ever say his name because sometimes the stuff he does he probably shouldn't do. He's fun. We like this dude. And he's been good, really good to Mike. And really good to the channel. Hey Crash, how's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. That's my fault, not your fault, but hello. Alright, it says it's got 20 minutes to do copyright checks again, so how exciting is that part? And we're going to try to do one more quick one before we let you guys run. I'm determined to find something really good. I know what I did with them, Mike. I found them.
Yay!
I found them. Guys, I found the videos.
Now we can do 43 more.
March
15th.
I don't think so. It looks like it's March 11th. No, it is March 15th. And what is this? Oh, that's gravel. Okay, hold on.
There's March 11 ones too.
We're going to play you a couple. Here we go. Alright, that's at the water tower. But what is this? Pretty. I'm not sure what's happening. Is there a DPU? No, just a pretty train. I wonder if he gives a salute or something that we can't
That's
hear.
a very good possibility.
Probably does.
There's
Does
some of
something we
those
can't
that
hear.
we've filmed too.
Oh, hail.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, hail. That's cool. Oh,
Lackawanna and the Pennsylvania.
All right, that makes me happy. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's great footage. All right, Michael, you win. We're gonna put that one in real quick. Okay, so let me figure out where to drop this. Let's do. I'm gonna put this one in this queue,
That's the day of the tornado warning. The sirens went off.
and we're gonna import that to the project. We're gonna take these two out. Yeah, I would imagine they went off. You know, there's a robotically controlled one in the background. I think that's cool.
With the slug.
Yeah. We're going to move this text down a bit. See if I can move the position. I'd rather do it this way, which is position, that's X. I don't need that. Actually, I'm going to use this one. Hold on. See if I can deselect. Come on. Deselect for me. It ain't going to do it. There we go. We're going to move this one down. Nope, not that way. That's the anchor point. That's for the transition. See if this is the... No, that's just the box. This is the problem with using pre-made text. Is moving it is difficult. Because you're really just moving the bounding box, which is annoying, because that's not what we want. Ay, 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 as Mike would say. There's
do.
3 in the butts, he says. Yeah, that's right. I do get to see those when I go to Coffee's Cliff. Actually, one of the very first times we met Mr. Coffee, I got to kind of interview him, but I also, you know, he's a little bit shy. And so we stood off camera, and Mike, I talked to Mr. Coffee for 45 minutes.
At least.
Long enough I got a fantastic sunburn because I was not under the umbrella. And the whole time, the slugs, the remote radio controlled slugs were going by. And we were watching the guys using the box, so that's cool. We'll go double heritage. So the problem is I've slightly moved the bounding box for this one. So now I have to go back to its horizontal position. You know what? I think I'm gonna put it all back.
And Tara, you recently saw the Lackawanna, didn't you?
Yeah, it came through a week or so ago, didn't it?
I think she saw it, yeah, within the past week. She has like something every day.
That's cool. I'm not sure why that bounding box is not cooperating. It's like the mask line has moved. Let's do the... Oh, I hear it. There it is. Now we've exposed it back. So the studio is right by the train tracks. There's something happening live outside. Let's see real quick. We're going to do it the easy way. We are going to watch our own YouTube channel. And there's something that's about to come around the corner. So let's see what we're going to get, Mike. I don't know which way it's going. Oh, she saw the Erie, Tara said. Well, we can hear it. Tell you what, I'm just going to put this over here for a second. No, actually I know it's getting close because I can hear it coming around the corner. We're going to watch. There is a train coming around this corner, and I can tell you it is going southbound.
That it is. I learned too.
And it's probably going to turn everything color. We're lucky.
The camera's in twilight.
It is.
There it is.
Yep.
That's so cool.
It is cool. Coal. Bunch of coal. Alright. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. We could hear it. The studio is close enough we can hear the train and we can hear which direction it's going, so I knew which way it was running. Okay, so double heritage in a hailstorm. That's really all you gotta say, because it's awesome. C905, Lucas says. All right, well, good, thank you. That is the CSX track. We are... See, the studio is... Do you remember what the mile marker is, Mike?
Well, the camera's 122.8.
Yeah, that's right. So the studio is like... Oh, there's a DPU. A DPU just went by. So if you guys watch the rail cam later, you'll see a DPU. So it must have been a long coal train. Anyway, so the studio is probably... I don't know, it's a few hundred feet from the camera.
I don't know if you can show them. That's her Erie.
Oh, forward it to me and I'll put it up there. Just send it to me in a text.
See, this is why I want to take him trackside, because he can do these cool things. Me, I can only show you the camera the old-fashioned way.
Well, it takes a lot of software, it takes a lot of patience, and again, 24 years editing video, and that's why it's a partnership. If you wonder, why is Casey involved with the channel? You never see him. I do this. This is my end of it. Let's see. Alright, Mike, when you send it to me, I'll drag it over. Okay, back to editing the video. So, we have it right here. Let's see how the audio does. Pretty loud on that channel. So we're going to drop it down a bit. We're going to do a -4. But we do want people to be able to hear the hail, because it's cool.
And what you see is not the umbrella, because at this point I have retreated to the truck, bound and determined to get the shot. That is a clipboard that I'm holding out the window to protect the camera, sacrificing my hand.
Thank you for your service, Mike. Mike's clipboard. Oh, there's a lot of power on that thing. It's a serious unit, man.
And they're headed to the fuel rack.
Let's see how many there are. Wow. All right, you know what we're going to do? Right after the heritage, we're going to cut that, but we're going to leave it in and just speed it up. So they're going to go by at about 200%. And then we're going to drop a little transition on it so people can see. We'll do a clock wipe. And the clock will allow people to see that it's going by faster. So, see how that works. I'm going to skip to here. No, I don't like that because you can't actually tell. We're going to delete that. We're going to do dip to black. So they can tell I've messed with it. No, because that looks weird too. I mean, I guess people can tell it's running double speed. I could always put up text that says 2x at the top if I'm really motivated. How motivated am I? That's the question. Oh man. Alright, fine. I'll do that. Please like and subscribe, it says. Okay, cool. So let's do some text and we'll put 2x. Alright. And we'll grab that guy. I can do this without moving it all over creation. Let's do the position this way. We'll just say 2x. Because on YouTube, if you put it at the bottom, it gets covered up by people's icons and things. So we're going to put it up here, out of the way that people have a center camera on their phones. Some people have a cutout right there in the middle of their phones. And so we are going to make this say 2x while it's running double speed. And that way everybody can keep up what's happening. So let's try that. That's still pretty long. It's a lot of power units. So we're going to actually change that to 300%. And we're going to say that's 3x. That's pretty long. Alright, so three times fast forward. I believe in truth in editing. If I'm going to fast forward, I'm going to tell you, because that way you don't think the train just took off. Alright, but here's the other thing. So the contrast's a little bit weak. So we are going to adjust the color a bit on this one. So let's do a different one. So we're going to grab this clip here and we're going to play around with a few things. First of all, let's see if we can find a pure white. Not really. Not much that's white. The NS logo is not very white. And I can't use the text. That doesn't work. So white balance isn't going to work. We have to do it the old-fashioned way. So what we're going to do here is we're going to increase the contrast a bit. Let's increase it a lot bit and see what we get. There we go. That's better. Run back, we're going to see both of them. But we don't want to make it so contrasty that you can't see all the rain. We're going to keep the shadows fairly dark. And the highlights, make it slightly easier to see. I think the exposure is good. Make the colors stand out a bit more. And it was a gray day, but yeah, we'll just leave that 0. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Looks a bit better. Still see the hail. Still see everything going on there. So I like that. We're going to copy that, and we are going to, actually let's go, we're going to preview this section. We're going to paste the attributes of Lumetri color. So now they have the same color on both. So there we go. That's a little bit more editing. You're alright, Mama Bear. Welcome back. Alright, let's play and see what we got. Here we go. Oh, you think so, Lucas? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Let me fix that.
What do you say? What do you say?
So the shadows look a little dark on the trucks. I think he's right. There's a couple ways to fix that. So we can keep our blacks. We can turn the shadows up but keep the blacks true by changing the black level. So you can also see Mike's mirror there. That's black plastic. So at that moment, we can see the mirror cap. And it's also changing a bit as it blows. But that allows us to see the shadows a little bit brighter. Too much, he says. Too much. Okay.
Remember, Mike has an aluminum truck and he's in panic mode at this point.
So that's how it was. That's that. He says it looks better. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna do this the easy way. So shadows went to 18.9 and black standard 9.3. There we go. That way I don't have to copy and paste. I can just do the thing there. All right, so we've got a little color editing. Full speed, the volume's corrected. It says it's running double speed, and we're good. So this one is Double, Heritage, and Hellstorm. We're gonna put this one out in like a week. So Mike, what day do you want to do this?
Oh, why do I gotta wait so long?
Because you're live like every freaking day.
Aw.
There's no point in putting out a short while you're live, right?
Friday at 6.
Friday at 6, got it. Okay, so we're gonna run that one.
That's why Casey doesn't take me out.
We don't let him leave much. Oh, there's a bunch of shorts, guys. We'll play a couple more, just preview. We're not gonna make any more. I appreciate y'all sticking with us. Just kind of want to show you the stuff that's happening. Also, show you a couple of pictures here.
Next kid's listening room.
You didn't seem to.
I am. It went to your Facebook.
Oh, okay, good. All right. That's kids listening room. I like that. Yeah, you have much better power conditioning than I do. That's some serious stuff. And I see you got isolation and all the tiers. That's serious. It looks like they are as far apart from each other as from the primary listening positions. So that's great. That's a serious setup. So yeah, we've got Klipsch reference. I think they're RF26s are what's in here, and then a Klipsch center channel. And that's what I use to edit. But I also transition back and forth because most people aren't listening to us on any kind of serious hardware like that, right? So I also switch and I listen to it. If I'm doing something that's really audio intensive, like different horns or something, I listen to it on laptop speakers. I listen to it in my my earphones for my phone. I've got Atmos headphones that can do like really serious editing on some of them that are really audio intensive. And I've got all of your messages. I'm replying to everybody. All right, so by Friday, you mean next week, right?
Yeah, second half 2 this Friday.
Actually, I forgot when we were doing this one. This is the previous one. When's the BNSF? You remember, Mike?
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna schedule the BNSF. I know we did one for Friday, so you said Monday? You're alive on Monday, right? Sunday?
Can we go during the day, or you want to stay in the evening?
It doesn't really matter.
How about Monday at lunchtime?
Monday lunch.
Monday noon lunch.
This is how much thought we put into it, guys. When are we not live? Let's do it then. Okay. We have that scheduled now. Let's upload the new one. 13 by 21. That's wide. It's a big one. I don't know what this is. probably, I don't know. I'm not sure what size this room is. It's pretty big. So we have all the editing stuff over here. We have all the live stuff over there. There's a project table and some more chairs and stuff over on this side of the studio. There's a big closet that has a bunch of HDMI cables, and there's memory cards and everything, like totes of stuff. I think we have 7 360 cameras in here on that shelf. TV, we use, Mike and I will sit there and watch together. I can't even figure out where to point. There we go, there's TV up there. And then there's all the live rail cam equipment. So there's a giant antenna that runs the audio. When you guys hear this, the scanner, the antenna's hooked up over there, and it runs with some software that translates the antenna feed through the scanner, and that's embedded in OBS and is running with the feed from the camera. There's just a bunch of stuff going on over there. Alright, so now we're going to schedule another one. And so that one's finished, and it's called Double Heritage Hailstorm. Let's make sure it plays right first. Mike's poor truck taking a beating.
And there's actually a whole live with this too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Missed that. That's cool. Let's go
I
to the
wasn't
fuel
going to
rates.
give up because I waited forever and filmed forever, and that was the finale, and I was not giving up. And then shortly thereafter, I make my way underneath the overpass, and the tornado siren goes off. And the NS control tower tells everybody, tornado warning, take shelter.
Alright, I am... I put Mike risks life, limb, and aluminum body panels to catch this great hailstorm shot. Because production unit 6 is aluminum. So, we are saying that we do not have anything bad, which is why when Mike makes oopses, I have to go and mute him.
And ask me how I know production 6 is aluminum.
Oh, how do you know? Oh, yeah, because you can't stick your magnetic camera mount to it.
Well, I went and got a magnetic umbrella that does not stick to my truck
It does not.
at all.
All right, that one's done. So, let's just show you a couple of other ones.
And I sent you a couple of pictures of people saying,
Oh, you sent
They're
a couple
on
pictures. Hold on.
Facebook.
Let me go to Facebook. Hold on, guys. And if you guys want us to make a Facebook page for the channel, we could. More than likely, it's probably going to be easier for us to do like a Discord or something, because it's a lot for us to maintain a Facebook group and moderate and do all that, and maintain the channel. It's just a lot.
there you go, Chuck. He's speaking Chinese again. I'm with you. Chuck just said, no, you're speaking Chinese.
I've now got to authenticate myself onto the Facebooks so it can be happy. Irony is one of our companies is a Facebook company, so even though I don't want to do Facebook, that is part of how I make a living. As a Facebook partner, or we do advertising for automotive, but that also means my Facebook's like Fort Knox, so I have to type in a code every time that I log in. I have to, like, all my chat is encrypted, so I type in codes to make my chat load, and now I can load Mike's chat. And there we go. Mike, I don't have this. Are you sure it's on that, or is it on Instagram?
Oh.
So I don't have it.
Oh, what is that? What is this?
Messenger, but you didn't send it to me.
I didn't.
You didn't? You did. You did. It says,
You
interesting.
said forwarded an image. You forward, yeah, the
I wonder why it's, I haven't gotten it yet. I wonder if they're not uploaded yet. Let me see your phone here.
There's 2 from Tara and 1 from Aiden.
Yeah, they haven't come in. The last thing I have is oh, and it says these are the ones I sent you. Yours haven't come in yet. That's interesting. Well, guys, I will.
Maybe I did it wrong.
No, you sent them. They just haven't come through. I don't know why. I'm on Messenger. I typed in the code, and for some reason, Mike's pictures to me are not coming through. So I don't know. Sorry, guys. I would share them with you, but I'll leave that up just in case it comes up. Yeah, I know. And Discord is a lot easier to live with, and that's actually part of how we know what's happening. Is we are on Discord on a Railfan channel with some other YouTube creators who do rail videos. And so we all communicate about what's happening, and we're always watching. I've got an Android emulator for desktop, and on this monitor, which is vertical, I'll put it over and I'll keep up the Heritage app sometimes so I can see what's coming while I'm editing and doing all the stuff. So we do whatever we have to do.
When he says we, hey, Casey.
Casey does whatever he has to do. All right, so you want to do Friday at 6 p.m. for the hailstorm, you said?
Yeah, this next Friday or this
Next Friday, the 13th.
That'll be fine.
All right, I'll be
If I can
busy.
wait that long.
I'll be at a work event that runs from 5 to 8. So
And
you
I'll-
guys will see this, and I won't actually see it go live.
And I'll be at Mexican dinner.
Yep, he will. All right, so we're going to schedule that one. And there we go. It'll come out later. All right, guys, that's all the editing. I'm going to show you a couple of other shorts that we haven't put up yet that Mike has sent over. So we're going to watch a few together. And these will probably be surprises for me, too. Let's see. There's the Coffee's Cliff sign. That appears to just be a still image. There's a CSX by the tracks. Mike, do you know? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
There's a CSX Heritage coming.
Oh, that's the Pan Am Railways. That's cool.
And that's the same day the RF&P knows. I do believe. I think.
You know, I know Jesse hates what he calls the mullet CSX heritage units, but it kind of almost works there because the blue and then it falls across the wrinkled little chevrons on the side of that panel. That's not as noticeable. That's neat. Alright, so I'm going to title that one. I'm actually going to rename that one Pan Am Railways. Cool. Let's see what this one is. Birds are taking off. Something's happening.
That's the day you called me about the NS train
I
going
did.
down the CSX tracks, and I ran down on my slippers.
I did. So I happened to notice this just randomly. I heard a sound at the studio that sounded weird, and I thought something's off with this particular train. And I looked out the window, and I saw two black engines and a CSX going around the corner of the curve where the rail cam is. And it's quite a ways away from the studio, so I was having to do the squint, but I'm like, what? So
That's extremely rare for us to see.
yeah, you never see NS come past the studio. So I called Mike in a tizzy, like, Mike, I don't know what's happening. So he zipped over to Ringgold. That looks like Ringgold, right?
Yeah, it's
By the farm.
at the quarry,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
at the quarry road where the lady ran off the road that night
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
and then got hit by the train.
We know this spot. Here's Tin Bridge. Let's see what's happening on Tin Bridge. Is this
Oh,
the truck?
Mama Bear, that's for you.
Oh. All right, Mama Bear. There you go. We froze it.
Sunset.
Freeze frame. Sunset with the NS Conrail, the good Conrail, as we call it.
Which has currently got a broken PTC screen and can't lead right now.
Yeah, that's right. I don't
If I
know if you guys
understand it
knew
right.
that. I'm sure Mike has mentioned it on the live, but we heard that the PTC screen is broken, so it can't lead right now. So you're not going to see it leading for quite a while. That was May the 3rd, and that's probably, no, March the 9th. That's probably the last time we caught it leading.
And it's
Oh,
on,
share the screen. Sorry. It's my first day.
and it's on a train coming past bootleggers probably any minute going to the Chattanooga yard right now.
There we go. All right, let's try this again. Boy, we're great at YouTube, I'll tell you that. Thanks, Lucas. There, Mama Bear. Much more impressive if you can actually see what we're telling you. How's that for a sight? When we get the color up on that thing a little bit, man, lessen the shadows, but look at that sky. That's beautiful. Here's the previous one I was talking about that you didn't get to see. This one's cool. I called Mike Hinton a tizzy. Here's the NS. And then, huh.
That's an all train.
Yeah, that's right, Lucas. So, from what we've heard, NS likes to run low on power. And they lease a lot of power, which we know because there's all the Wells Fargo units and all the other stuff we've seen over time. But it's unusual to see them bum one from CSX. Whiteface D9, yeah. It was a cool catch. And here's one. This is actually a video. This is not sitting still.
Oh, there's another note for you there.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a Whiteface D9. Why is it? Are these rear DPUs?
No, I think that's 29F. Changing crews, and the front of it's around the corner at Citico. And that's 29F sitting on 10 bridge.
Oh wow, those are mid DPUs.
Yes.
There's double mid DPUs as they change crews. Boy, that guy's clean. 4890. 4890. That's nice. Look at that compared to the one behind it.
Look at the little pillar colors and stuff.
Yeah. Boy, you're putting some light out. Is that the spotlight?
I'm not sure the lights are up yet
Huh.
because the camera, it's a
Something's brightening up there. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh,
This is gonna be steam.
yeah, it is. What was your clue?
The weeds over there along the track.
Oh man, 6:30. That's a cool shot. I know exactly where that is too. I stood there and put the drone up. Where's this one? Oh, this is right at the museum. It's the Y, the back of the Y. Or coming toward the bridge, leaving the museum, right?
Yes. And I'm on the NS side.
Oh yeah, where the NS tracks are going. Oh, get away! Look at that, 6:30. That's cool. Some nice guys over there. We've been there a long time. Let's see who this is. Pretty son. UP. Is it just the UP coming around the corner
Is
in the
that
dark?
a Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's probably a huge wave coming out from the conductor. Look and
Alright,
see
let's
if
watch.
there's a.
Oh yeah, there it is. He's right.
That's what it is.
Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in.
That's massive conductor wave.
I don't know if I can zoom in here. I can full screen. Yeah, it'd be too hard to zoom. I don't think I can zoom this without putting it in Premiere. But if you can see his hand right here, he is giving a big old wave. Alright, let's see what else we got. What's this, Mike?
We're at the water tower.
Okay. Oh, that's a weird spot for you.
That's the end of River Avenue.
Oh, that's what. Rails on rails.
That's tricky. I like that. Rails on rails. MOW.
It is. MOW. I'm going to turn sound down. Sorry, guys. I know that was loud. He's close on that one. I looked up the mix and saw it jump. Well, that's a lot of rails. Let's fast forward a bit. Looks like we're going backwards. Yep. Gosh, that was a bunch. That's a long one. That's cool. That is about 45 straight seconds of rails. What's this here?
No idea.
March 11th. This is 4 days before the hail.
Could be a Bighorn Saloon.
Could
or
be.
Could be a DPO.
Here's a slow moving feller. $42.99.
Oh, I think he's fourth back.
He's waving.
Yeah, but I think what we're chasing is fourth back.
Fourth back. How do you remember this stuff? Mike actually has a great memory for this kind of thing. Well, or it could just be. Oh, there we go.
Six back.
Six back. There she is. Yeah.
And now I'm double panning because I also have the live going.
So he's panning the live and the short at the same time. Two different cameras, two different tripods, two different orientations. Good job, Michael. I'm proud of you. By the way, some of you guys hear me call Mike Michael on occasion, which I don't think Mike actually even likes. The reason why I call him Michael is my dad's name is Mike. And so to differentiate Mike from my father, I started calling him Michael. And so I do it. Sometimes I don't have it. But, yeah,
Lackawanna.
it is Lackawanna. Let's see him come in.
Not as clean as the hailstorm day.
No, it's not. This is the same day as the hailstorm.
Is it?
Yeah, this is March 15th.
Oh, and then that's
This is 4 hours before, so they
That's him.
switched it.
That's him coming. No, they broke the train down.
But then
And-
they added more power because there's another one behind it in the other video. The Pennsylvania's behind it.
Is it not the same train? Maybe.
No, because see, here's this one. Here, I'll show you the next one. This is it. Here it is 4 hours later. Ready? See? Chuck, his memory is only applicable to trains, okay? But yeah, I don't know why they would have done that. So they had to have separated that thing.
Yeah, because they bring the train down to the soccer fields, drop all the cars off, connect all the locomotives, and then go into the field rank. But I'm not sure. I'd have to watch the whole. There's a long.
Oh, that's the aftermath. That's them actually going into the racks.
Yeah.
Did you wait for them to go in the racks?
Yes.
Oh man.
I spent
Look at that.
quite a bit of time there, and the storm. I wasn't giving up when the storm started until I had my last shot.
He
I'm
has
kinda
not
like-
yet begun to fight.
I'm kind of like Lucas. I'm staying to the end.
Okay, gotcha. So you're saying they split it, and then they backed him into the other cars. So, in other words, the Pennsylvania was already hitched, because you're right, I think the cars behind it are already split. So the Pennsylvania and the other 4 locomotives visible in this shot are already sitting there, and they just backed the gray one, the Lackawanna?
Lackawanna.
The Lackawanna up to it. Yeah, oh, okay, they cut the DP. Yeah, that's right, because it was the DPU on the other one. Sure. Well, that's cool. And yes, I agree, Mama Bear. I think I said that. Mike does do a great job capturing these. I'm always proud of his ability to get out there and find the story. He's like a news hound for trains. Actually, you know the day that started, back in the day when Mike and I first started, we had no idea what we were doing. We're still learning. But we were just filming like random traffic. Just trains going by. I've got some footage over here, but I won't even bore you with it because it's bad. We didn't know what we were looking for. We didn't know what people were trying to find. And it just so happened that we filmed a Grinstein paint scheme BNSF on our first day. And we're like, that's weird. What is that? And so that day we discovered the Heritage app.
Casey, what's that?
I'm like, I don't know. Why is it weird? Maybe it's old. Let's look it up. I bet you I can Google that number. And then we found the Heritage app, and we started looking at the Rail Pictures Archive and all that stuff. I thought, man, there's got to be some way to predict it. So for a long time, we ran that software that shows you all the signals, and we would go to spots where we knew there was a lot of train activity, and we would film and we would watch the signals on my laptop, and we would hotspot and try and figure out when stuff was coming. We would just sit there, and we'd sit there like the entire day. And another reason why I'm not often on camera is I'm often smoking a cigar, which I have to do off camera thanks to YouTube. So Mike is sitting there, and I'm off camera smoking a cigar, and we're just like waiting for trains to come by. And although that's the wrong motion, it's actually like this. So we're waiting for the trains to come by, and we still couldn't exactly figure out how we would know when things were coming in. And then we learned how the Heritage app worked, and we started getting on other rail cams, and then we joined with other rail fans on group texts that we met at the tracks, and then we found the Discord groups, and then we met other train people, including Mike's favorite, Jawtooth. Little known fact, Jawtooth and Mike are not the best of friends. Despite I think you're both from Ohio.
We are.
Hey, there you go, Lucas. There's you, one of those robots running on by. He's hitching up and pulling. Lucas says if the distributed power is on the rear or the mid, they will drag all the cars out to 23rd from the rec yard, like this one's doing, I guess. And then put the DPU on a different track and then shove all the way back to the same track or another track. It boggles my mind, because the only time I've had to do anything like this, I was using a truck. And so trucks can just drive around and hook to other trailers, but trains are stuck on their road, so combination wise and everything still boggles my mind. Here we go. Little NS folks up there?
Yeah, well, they're the MOW crew.
Oh, okay, just getting on. Whoa! Hey! That's cool. That's the Wabash. I know that one. The Wabash just appears in front of an MOW. Look at that.
That's my favorite place.
Bam! Yeah, there's no signal there. We couldn't do lives there for a long time until we put a satellite dish on the truck. We couldn't do lives, which is why sometimes we call it Rail Moments satellite truck, because it actually is. He's got a satellite dish on it now, and so we can do lives from remote areas, which we couldn't do before. And by the way, you guys probably aren't dying to know, but why is it Rail Moment 6? Because we actually keep track of the vehicles that we've used in the lives over the years, or not in the lives, in the production. There are various reasons for that. Some of it's because we attach different cameras to different units, and so different ones had different capabilities, and so knowing what we had there would kind of remind us of what we were looking for. So sometimes I would use motorcycles. We've used it side by side to get into off-road areas. We've had my giant F-250 on 35s, like huge redneck truck, to go up to the old abandoned graveyard that's way up above the lake. There's a lot of different units we've used over the years, and we kind of kept track of how many there were. And production unit 6 was the 6th one that we used, and we actually have used, I think, 14 different vehicles, including motorcycles
And the Flex.
and the Flex. The Flex was our first one.
Pretty much the first, the grandfather car.
The second one was my Genesis, my G80. Yeah.
And Limo Day.
We did use a limo. I didn't think to include that one, but I guess technically we rented
We rented a limo
Unit
to
15.
train chase.
Unit 15. We did.
And
There's a video of that.
we even had him help film.
He did help film. Yeah, I've got footage of that.
Yeah.
I could show him, but we'll skip that for the moment. But the reason being, I don't know what day that is. I know it was around our anniversary. Oh, here we go. That's cool.
That's the Sperry truck.
Yeah, sure is. Sperry comes by. What else we got? Tara says the Wabash is her favorite.
Okay.
As I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, how I long for my Indiana home. Here's bootleggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units with tankers.
It's either going to be the middle or the end then, probably.
I don't see. It's almost over. It's a 2-minute long video though. I wonder if something happened before that. Let's see. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Or maybe I got the wrong train and the next video has the train.
Okay, let's see if there's another one from this day. So that was April the 17th.
That could be.
Nope, that's the only one from that day. You just really want to see a bunch of NS Power up front. Okay. Right. Wait, that was
Central.
cool. Yeah, it is. Penn Central leading some empty auto racks alone. I like the light coming from it. That's cool. The kind of streaming light at the sunset. Where are you? Is that the water tower?
That's the water tower at the end of Railroad Avenue.
Got a green light on the gantry.
I sent you another picture from Tara.
All right. Oh, I'm getting my first image. All right, this one actually came in. I don't know why the other one didn't.
Oh, that's the one I just now sent.
Yep, the other ones didn't come in for some reason. That's Taylor's shot of the Wabash. That's fancy. That's a great shot. Using a wide angle on that guy. See, there's a little bit of a fisheye effect to it. That's he must have been really close. Oh, I left the video playing in the background because there's somebody's head. Oh, the tag. Just in time, I switched back to see the tag. And let's see that signal drop, shall we? There's the green. Pink. There's the red. That's cool. I like seeing that. Yeah, that is your money shot, Tara. I agree. That's a great one. All right, here we are. The Jailworks. This is at the Diamond. I've sat here many a day with Mike.
On my birthday, even.
I have sat there with him on his birthday. I did take a small detour for some Brewsters. That's pretty. Hold on. Yep, New York Central. Got the wigwags going on the front. That's cool. Here's a bright one. The Lehigh Valley.
Tara, you saw that.
You know, the Lehigh is a weird color. It's not a fire engine red. It's actually kind of like a bright maroon, and in certain light, it picks up a lot of
Look at the reflection of the
blue. So I had a really hard time. If this is in shadow, that thing is just maroon. There is no way to even make it look red. You can forget trying to make it look red.
Lucas, you remember that day.
That's pretty. That's good. That's Coffey's Cliff. Something's in the middle. That's a short one. 40 seconds.
Oh, did I miss the front, maybe?
I hope not. CSX. Probably a mid DPU, huh? Yep, there it is. It's NS. Yeah, Mama Bear, it's a pretty one. It's the most vibrant, I guess. Oh no, it's a rear DPU, and you're panning. I'm so damn proud of you, Michael. I'm so dang proud of you,
And the
Michael.
line. No, he's pushing back.
He is, yeah. Oh, okay. So he's actually on yard duty.
Yeah, he's breaking down his train, putting all the cars back in, then he'll go to the fuel rack eventually.
That's cool. That's a good shot. Got 4 more, guys. Here we go. He's riding on the front. Ghost riding the whip. Whip, and his nay-nay. 48-41. Yeah, the red is beautiful. Oh, he waves, but then there's the Lehigh, so that's what we're actually after. A friendly wave. This is right by the fuel racks. This is in front of the tent place.
Yeah, and it does a whole live on this.
Yeah, I recognize the rest pattern of that rail because I've stood in front of it a lot. BNSF, they're working.
Oh, that could be the golden thing.
The Golden Swoosh.
Yeah, that could be golden swoosh morning.
9309. That was May 14th.
Oh,
Very well.
no, this is a startup. This
Okay.
is just a
Cold
startup,
startup.
and they're doing their thing, and I get a huge horn blast, but it's just a startup.
just a startup with a fresh crew. So yeah, here'd be the horn blast then.
Next Jersey.
It is Jersey, yeah.
I guess we don't get to hear it.
We don't get to hear it. I was looking for it on the audio levels, but I never did see it.
Oh, there's an MRL.
Oh, there is. I stopped too soon. Haha, there it is. Bam. Montana Rail Link. MRL 4302. Pan up, Mike. There we go. That'll work. That's cool. That's a rare sight around here. And last one, what do we got? The other ones came through just now. Getting a wave. I know who that is.
That's the swoosh, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the Golden Swoosh, and it's our friend on board. So look carefully at the cab, and you'll see us getting a wave from our friend right here. And that's the Golden Swoosh. It is the only one painted that way, so it is not black in the logo. 7695 is an unusual BNSF, and we're getting a wave with it.
And it was an experimental logo, and they were trying to decide between that and another one, and they selected the other one.
And I wish they would paint them again, because it's a great scheme. It's just not they're not vibrant anymore. That's a shame. Oh well. Well, there you go. That's all the shorts that we have recorded that you haven't seen yet. So we'll be putting out more of those. But as you saw, we just scheduled through next Friday, and the last one you'll see that we have done is this Double Heritage, and then we'll start with a few more. So that is our current layout and design of our shorts, and that's the kind of the way we approach it, to make something that's a little snack-sized rail fanning for you guys as you're scrolling through your feeds. And then I'll resume our regular edits of our long-form content, and Mike will go back trackside live. So thanks everybody for joining. I've got a couple more things to show you. Mike sent me 2 more images here. This one.
That's Tara catching the Erie, which we haven't
Very
seen
nice.
in ages.
Very nice. Yep, we haven't seen that probably a year.
It's been a long time. I heard it was down.
Oh, it blew an engine, didn't it?
Oh,
Something
kinda-
catastrophic happened. There's the Wabash. Oh, this is the other one. Lehigh Valley. Oh, that's cool. In the background.
Oh, okay, we gotta show this one.
What building is that? Is that Tara who sent that one?
Yeah, that's
I don't know the building.
she's in Virginia.
Okay. Tara, if you could tell us what building that
Oh.
is. Oh, that's the spray painted one. That's,
the
the graffiti.
vandalized pink,
Yeah,
and we filmed that live going north.
you sure did.
And
Good night, Chuck. Good to have you on, brother.
Lucas saw it. If I
Huh.
remember right, Lucas saw. I didn't realize it was on our video, and Lucas said, "Hey, we got such and such," and then Tara saw it afterwards.
Do you have the red, white, and blue one handy?
No, I
No.
haven't caught that one. We've only caught that one.
The red, white, and blue vandalized one is being tracked on the Heritage unit, and
It is too.
yeah, this one is
Yeah.
being tracked on the Heritage app. I actually think it looks fantastic.
I
The
like
red, white,
it.
and blue one.
Yeah.
The pink one is vandalized. They didn't do a very good job. If they'd lined the lines up better, maybe. But the red, white, and blue one looks great. So, anyway. All right. I think that's all of y'all's messages.
You should have a couple more pictures.
That's what's come through.
Oh, darn.
What do we got? Let's see if I can refresh. I have 4.
Let's see, you got her Wabash,
Yep.
you got her Lehigh, you got her pink,
Yep.
and then there's one from Lucas, The one. That's
Oh
in
yeah, I'm
repair.
sorry. Yep, I did it again.
The
Sorry,
repair
Tara.
one.
I forgot to share. Let me show you what we're looking at. Let's bring this back over. Okay, it would help if I could remember what I was doing. Alright, so there is your Wabash photo.
I'm distracted.
This is the Erie that we were talking about, that we haven't seen, that we think is damaged. Haven't seen in like a year. This is the building I was asking about. This is the Lehigh Valley in front of something, and I think I recognize that building. I actually think that was on an architecture show my wife and I were watching, but I can't remember what it is. And then this one is the vandalized unit, the pink vandalized, but the red, white, and blue one is actually really well done. It's some great vandalism. It looks really nice. It looks like a paint scheme they should have done. Kind of like when they try and fix the CSX Mullet Heritage units.
It's the art.
It says the art museum. Okay. It looks like an art museum. It looks like a conservatory or something like that.
Oh, Tara said that's what Lucas said. It's
Yeah, it's the
what
art
city?
museum. Yeah, do you know?
By the way, it's a girl.
Oh, the train's a girl. You're right. What city is that, Tara? He said you're in Virginia, but I don't know where. And I know there's a slight delay. So why is there a delay? I can actually show you why, I think. I can't show you why we're doing it. So when you're setting up a live stream, you can decide how close to time to make the video. Because the shorter you run it, the more stable the connection, or the longer a gap you give them, the more stable the connection. Roanoke, she says. Thank you, Roanoke. That's a nice town. And so we run it at a medium lag, which means that if there's any fluctuation in the internet or anything, the quality stays consistent. You can run it really short, where it's almost live. It's only like 3 seconds delayed. But if there's any disruption at all, it all goes nuts. And then you can run it where it's preserved for quality, and it's like 30 seconds behind. And that's like if you're doing something like a podcast where there's no interaction. But for the interaction we were running, I think it's about an 8-second delay between what we're actually seeing and what we're talking about and you guys. So if it seems like we're not paying attention, we actually are. You're just slightly delayed from us. But anyway, it's an adjustable setting. We just run it on normal most of the time. And that's true on Mike's trackside as well, especially trackside. It matters because if you don't have the delay in there, then the signal, as the signal fluctuates, even on satellite, it's not perfect. We're going to do one last thing to close out. Oh, that's a helicopter. I was going to say there's a train coming by, but it's a helicopter. You'll be able to hear it on the satellite, or on the rail cam. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks for joining us. Appreciate y'all coming to the studio with us this evening. Mike wanted to do a little studio action and churn out some. He says Lucas sent a picture. Do you have that one?
Yeah, that's the damaged engine.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw that one, Tara, but we popped that up. That was this one.
No, there's a crushed one.
A crushed one. I didn't see that one. All right, hold on.
It's an NS that looks like it hit a concrete wall.
Interesting. I haven't seen that one. I'm going to reply to you so I can maybe refresh on my end. It says you saw it, and it says you're sending. You said hi.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me find this picture. There, it's right here. Okay, let's do it again.
And you could always text it to me if you wanted, but let's try that. Because I've got my text up over here.
Sent.
All right, he's got it sent. Oh, there it is. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that did have a rough day.
And I asked him to give you the story because I'm not quite sure I understand
Yeah.
the story. This is from Lucas.
NS204, he says. What happened, Lucas? Oh, wait, that's not that one. It says, does that say 6789 on the side? It couldn't, right? That wouldn't be, what does that say? Let me share the screen here. I did forget, but I also saw your message. that is. So they're repainting it. You can see they've got. I don't know. It looks like they've got. What do they call it? The paint peeling stuff on it. The paint remover on it. But they've painted the railings again. And I guess they'll mask that and then paint the black. But you can see where they've already trimmed it all down. But the windows are masked off. But it looks like they've just put the paint remover on the paint here. No, that's gotten scraped. You can see some bare metal. So they've sanded that. So it's ready to be repainted and everything's masked off. That's cool.
He sent me a whole message, but I don't understand.
I'm
what
guessing
it is.
that is that at Altoona, Lucas? Because they only paint in Chattanooga and Altoona, and you know Mike and I live in Chattanooga area. I live actually in Chattanooga. Mike lives close by in Georgia, but I thought they always painted inside, so that's weird. And they are just paint. I mean, they are painting. They're not just prepping. Because those rails have just been painted. That's a weird shot. That's unique. But you can see there's like a gantry up here where I guess they're dropping, they could drop cloths over it. I could have always sworn they paint them inside. I know they paint the heritage units inside. He said his picture is NS204 with CP7023 leading by Coffey's Cliff. You have that one, Michael?
Did he send it on Facebook? Or did he send it by text?
Did you hear him? He asked if you sent it by text or by Facebook.
I see if he can text it to me real quick.
If you can text it real quick, I think we can throw that one over there. And I'm going to leave that screen shared so I don't forget to share again. He said it was on Facebook. Did you see it?
Okay, let's try this again. And what am I looking for on Facebook?
It's Lucas sent you a picture of NS204 with the Canadian Pacific 7023 leading, but it was by Pot and Coffey's Cliff. Oh, it's a video.
Is it? No, I don't know. No.
I see.
I haven't.
Different
I
one.
can't find it.
I got you. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, it just came in. Got it. And I'm going to text it to myself because that'll be quicker. And you'll see me use Mike's phone to message myself. And there it is. And then I'll share it with you guys. The wonderful magic of the internet. There we go. That's a great shot. I guess that's Lucas's money shot there. That's a good one. That's great. Whoops. 7023. It's got that gray ghost look. I love that. Yeah, and then the KCS power. That's neat. That's a great shot. And from a historic location, there's Lookout Mountain in the background. I love that one. And I've sat right in that spot many times watching the CSX come by. And then, is this the NS bypass, Mike? Is that the NS bypass line, or is that coming out of the
Yes.
yard? It is the bypass. Is it slightly higher?
Yeah,
Than
the
the other
closest
ones.
one is the CSX.
Yeah, I knew that one's CSX. That one's the NS. That's cool.
And what is the lead book?
That's the Canadian Pacific,
Oh,
723.
okay.
But this one's KCS. Yeah,
That's
the
a rare
North Yard.
combination.
The North Yard and Coffee. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one. I can show you real quickly before we go. Mike's losing his voice, but I can show you real quickly. I'll bring over our channel real quick, and this one. This video is extremely long, and I'm going to cut out the audio for a minute, but we do show you history of the yard. So if you guys want to go back and watch this video, we show you the difference between back then and today. And then we actually go through and zoom down the tracks. So this is going to rotate, and you'll be able to see where Coffey's Cliff is relative to this. So if you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. This is the 8099, the Southern. But it talks a lot about the yard and then where we film.
There's the
So
soccer
right
field.
here is where Mike sets up. This is a spot where he often is. It's right there by the rail, because this is the road to the fuel racks, or the road. This is the rails to the fuel racks, and then here's the fuel rack over here. Yeah, coming down here, and all the shops and everything. So we zoom across the whole thing, and so then I mean, it's a huge rail yard. This is the second largest classification yard for NS, and DeButts is huge, and it's in the middle of Chattanooga, like actually downtown. So obviously there are no roads that run directly beside it, but there are like 4 bridges that go over it. Most people never notice it. You can see one of these bridges coming right here. That one's under construction right now, and it's pretty
Here's
rough.
the
They
cliff.
said they can't. There's the cliff. You can see the truck over there on the right,
The
and
fire
that's
trucks
where
are not allowed to cross it.
that's probably Mike's pickup actually that we're showing you on Street View. So, and if we transition, you can see what it looks like when you're doing the video. And that's the view that you see, just like you saw. So we had fun making this video, and there's a whole lot of stuff that we go into about the history of it. But check it out. It's the NS Heritage 8099, the Southern Returns. And it's an hour and a half, but some of it's because we actually have the Southern working the yard. And so Mike has the scanner set up, and in the middle of it, he's listening to all of them talking about what they're doing in the yard. So it's a long video. It's really interesting, and we've broken it into chapters, so you can kind of skip around. But it's cool. So anyway, I was proud of that one. That one took a lot of time. That was 14 hours of editing, I think, something like that.
And that's the one that you lost.
I did. My heart was broken. I had been editing that thing for forever, and then in the process, oops, let's not edit that video. Let's leave that alone. Okay. In the process of editing it, I lost it. I didn't hit save. And Premiere, as you can tell by the screen here, if you know Premiere, I'm using the beta. As you can see right there, the word beta, and that's the white logo. And that thing crashed on me. I hadn't saved recently, and it hadn't made a recent save file because the beta had an error. So I lost 5 hours, I think, Mike, of editing. And I called him. Mike had just left the studio, and I said, Mike, it's gone. He said, what?
What's gone?
I said, everything. It's all gone. He's like, what do you mean? I said, the entire video we just worked on is gone. And I mean everything. I mean the flyover, all the historic shots, all the everything that I brought in and blended them and made the angles line up, and here's the rotation, and it was all gone. So I had to start over. So I actually did that one twice. So you can tell that I feel a lot of connection to it because it just about killed me. But anyway. All right, Mike.
Anybody got any questions for you? Since they don't get time, anybody got any questions they want to ask you?
Mike wants you to ask questions. Lucas, I love it. I think it was great. If I had a GP38-2, entirely possible. I don't know. I'd have to go back and dig around our footage. But yeah, it was. Let's see. Let's go to us here. There we go. Since we're not sharing that one, and we can begin shutting down the old computer. You were there, Lucas? That's cool. Some good days, man. That was a big adventure for Mike. He really enjoyed that whole day, and it was a long, hot day. It was like July or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. The next day, the deal went over and the leaves went across.
Oh yeah, that's in the bloopers. Mike was filming it coming in, and he had the tripod set up so close to the tracks that it blew the tripod over, and so you're just filming the leaves. Lucas, I was there briefly. I was there. I came by and said hi to Mike, I was like, that's cool that the Southern was happening, but we weren't live back then. He was actually filming production, and we didn't have the capability to go live because there's another thing: you have to have so many subscribers and watch hours and all that to be able to go live. Not everybody can do it, which is part of why you don't see more people do it. It's a headache. It's expensive. Takes a lot of equipment. You don't really make any money, but it's a way of connecting.
And boy, does it use a lot of data.
It does. Yeah, Mike uses at least 100 gigs a month, even with the quality settings and trying to keep the camera still as often as possible so it doesn't use as much, panning and changing everything. There are ways to try and reduce the bandwidth, but it's expensive to run and it's hard to do, and satellite data is not cheap if we're in a remote area, but it's fun and we enjoy it. But back then we didn't have the capability, and so we were actually just filming it, and so I had to edit all that and put it together and come in and dump 50 gigs of video at the end of the day. And some of these, the 360 outputs 4K, and so it will film, I think it films 5.6K from each lens, and so those files are incredibly huge and a lot to work with. But anyway.
He sent you one more picture.
Did you send it to
me
me?
by text?
Alright, Mike has sent me one more picture, he says, and then we're going to bed for real. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see, I'll have to share this one.
It is me. I'm in it. LOL.
Oh yeah, really? Right on. That's cool. He's in it. Right here. That's you at the van.
Oh yeah.
Right here on the left side.
Yeah, that's him in the van.
That's cool. I'm surprised you knew it was at the 54-minute mark. That's very specific. Yeah, I see that. Right by the fuel racks. Yeah, I came by a little bit later. I don't remember what I was driving that. Actually, I think I was on a motorcycle that day. It was hot, and I usually ride a motorcycle in the summer. But anyhow, thanks for joining us, guys. We are for real going to leave this time. Mike's beginning to yawn, and I'm beginning to fade too, so we both need to go home and say hi to the wives and get ready for another day of lives tomorrow. So, thanks for joining us. We edited, we talked about some shorts. You got to see some stuff that's coming up before anybody else does. And if you don't tell them about this live, they'll never see it. So you can just predict the future. So, appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us in the studio. And we'll do another one soon. We will go through all of the other stuff that it takes to run this channel and give you a preview of what's coming up, and especially the 911 video. I want to get a little bit closer. So right now the 360 video isn't edited. It's just kind of like long 360 stretches, and so it doesn't make much sense, but I'll edit it in a bit more and let you guys see it. So, cool.
So we will see you.
Yep, you're looking up here. You're talking to that one. You're looking up here.
I'm looking all over the place. I'm trying to look at that. We will see you all at the next crossing.
That's right. Mike's catchphrase. And just for me, it's